Hi, I'm Gardener Scott. Like most gardeners who grow zucchini, I'm always looking for ways to use the abundant harvest. And one way is to make zucchini pickles. And that's what I'm doing today. So join me as I ferment zucchini. I grew this beautiful golden zucchini this year and had a great harvest. So much that we've had it steamed and grilled and roasted and eaten in just about every way you can imagine. I've even made zucchini bread. But what I haven't done yet, and it's a delicious option, is to make zucchini pickles. Using a fermentation process, I'll take these beautiful zucchinis and over the course of a couple days turn them into a delicious snack. The fermentation process is very easy. We'll take our zucchini, we'll put it into a clean quart jar, we'll cover it with a brine, and then we'll let bacteria do the rest. The brine is simply salt and water. And the bacteria that lives in that type of environment will form lactic acid. And that lactic acid is what ferments and preserves the zucchini. Now, we could just stop there with the zucchini in the jar, covered by brine. It'll taste good, be good for us. But I like more depth of flavor in my zucchini pickles. So today, I'll be adding onion, some wonderful garlic that I harvested recently, and to kick it up a notch, some cayenne peppers that I grew and dried last year. I have all of my ingredients laid out, ready to go, and I've already made my brine. As I mentioned, the brine is simply water and salt. So in my measuring cup, I measured 4 cups of filtered water. And to this, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of salt. The 4 cups of water and the 2 tablespoons of salt is enough for making 2 quarts of the fermented zucchini, which is what I'm planning today. The basic recipe is 2 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of salt for each quart. So you can modify the amount of the brine based on how many quarts you choose to make. I have 2 different sizes of zucchini today. Some small, tender, and some medium-sized golden zucchini. I think these small ones will work best to cut into discs. And I think these big ones will work best to cut into spears. So I'll begin by cutting the tops off of the zucchini. Those will go in my compost pile. And then I'll cut each of these individual ones into slices. And each of these is a little more than a 1/4 inch thick. And I'll just continue this process making these discs that will go into the jar. For the spears, I'll want the length to match with the height of the jar. So I'll actually use the jar to determine how long I cut these individual spears. Because I have the other ingredients inside, I'll want to measure just below where the shoulder of the jar is and just above where the bottom of the jar is. And so I'll make my cut right there. So each of the spears will now be tall enough to fit in the jar. And then I'll just cut it in half, cut it in half again, and then cut it in half again. So each of these zucchini will give me 4 spears to put into the jar. So now everything is ready to go into the jars. One thing I'll add first, which is a little unique, is a grape leaf. And I'll put the grape leaf into the jar first. Why a grape leaf? Well, the fermentation process can make the zucchini a little soft, a little soggy. You may have had soggy pickles before. The tannins in the grape leaves will help firm up these pickles so they won't be quite as soft, quite as soggy. If you don't have grape leaves, you could use bay leaves, you could use oak leaves, or you could use nothing at all. This is just one of those little tricks that can make them a little bit crunchier. After I've got the grape leaf in, now I'll add my slice of onion, which goes all the way down to the bottom. And then I can begin putting in the individual pieces of zucchini. I'll start by just dropping it in. I'll shake it a little bit to try to make sure it fits all the way down and relieve some of the air pockets that might develop. Along the way, I'll also put in some of these garlic cloves for flavor. And I want to put enough zucchini in here so that when it's full, it comes up just below the ring on the jar. With this in place, I'll now add a couple of these cayenne peppers and just push them down the side of the jar. And again, this is one of those things you don't have to do, but I like the spiciness that it offers. Then I'll take another grape leaf and stick it on top. And then it's ready for the brine. I'll just pour the brine in until it comes up just below that ring on the jar. You can use a spatula, a knife, anything just to try to knock out some of the air bubbles at this point as well, because there's a lot of air in here and the liquid will drop a little bit. Once I release some of those air bubbles, I'll put a little more of the brine in. And now we want to weight this down. For the bacteria that create the lactic acid to ferment this best, it all needs to be submerged because that bacteria can't live in the presence of air. You can use anything you want to weight it down. In fact, right now, that grape leaf may be enough to hold all of the zucchini underneath the brine. But I'll add a glass weight on top just to be sure. And then I'll take one of these really cool fermentation tops and put it on top, secure it with a band, and this is ready to go. So let's run through that again using the other jar and some close-ups so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll take a grape leaf and put it at the bottom of the jar. Then I take my onion slice, put it on top of the grape leaf. Use the spatula just to press it all down. And now I'll add the zucchini. With these spears, I'll put them in so that they form all the way around the side and fit pretty snugly. I'll add the garlic for all that extra flavor. And then I'll take these cayenne peppers and drop them in to add that little bit of zing. I'll finish with the grape leaf on top. Remember, this helps hold it all under the brine in addition to adding some crunch. Pour the brine in. Right up to this ring on the jar. Shake it. Try to relieve any air bubbles that might be in there. Add a little bit more brine if we need to. Put the glass weight to hold it all down. Put a fermentation lid on it. Screw it on with a band. And that's all there is to it. It doesn't take long at all for this zucchini to ferment. In fact, it's only a 3 to 5 day fermentation process. And at that 3-day point, I'll actually taste it. And if I like it, I can stop the fermentation by sticking it in the refrigerator and start to enjoy it. If I want it to ferment a little more, I can give it a few more days. So, for now, I'm sticking these jars in a nice, cool spot, and I'll be back in 3 days. It's the end of the 3rd day, and now I'm ready to try these zucchini pickles. After 3 days, you'll probably notice that the water will start to get a little cloudy, and you may even see some of the bubbles of carbon dioxide gas that will slowly work their way up to the top of the jar. I've removed the top, taken out the weight, and now I can start checking these zucchini pickles. You'll notice right away if something has gone wrong. If it smells bad, then it probably is bad. It should have a really nice, flavorful fragrance. So let's move aside this grape leaf and try one. It's crunchy, slightly sour. It's got a little bit of heat from that pepper. The garlic is infused throughout. This is really good. This is really good. I say this is a keeper. I can put it in the refrigerator right now at this 3-day point. I could let it ferment another day or two, and that will change the flavor slightly. It'll affect how the brine soaks in and the fermentation continues and how sour the pickle becomes. But I think it's just slightly sour right now. It's got some really good flavor, so I'm going to stop the fermentation right now, and I'll have these pickles ready to eat. They probably won't last more than a few days, but this fermentation process is done, and this project is complete. So there you have it. That's how I ferment zucchini. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know below. If you haven't subscribed to the Gardener Scott channel, you can do so now. And if you like the video, you can give me a thumbs up and share it. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy fermenting.